What's up, pimps and players? I just want to show you the potential of Arachnomancer. Now, there are a lot of people that know that this class is powerful, and it's not very complicated to use. I just want to bring some awareness on this class because a lot of people bank it, a lot of people don't use it. I very rarely see Arachnomancer. It's a very powerful class. It's essentially a support, very offensive support that has some kind of selfish ability to deal some DPS itself, depending on the scenario. Either way, this is the main ability that we're looking at, the 5th skill, which increases the damage the target takes by 100%. And then the other skill increases the dot potential by 100%. So this is amazing synergy with, let's say, Dragon of Time, known for the DOTs, but some other classes, maybe a Stone Crusher, some things have high dots or just a little bit of dot here and there, such as Legion Revenant, Void High Lord, whatever. It's not the worst thing in the world to have this ability. And then the other skills are simply selfish for the Arachnomancer. They're all on a 6-second cooldown, which is gonna go down to 3 seconds with some haste. Either way, this is going to make your dodge 100%, so you are using the second and the third skill sort of as a parry. You have to time this correctly if you want to survive in certain situations, and since the monsters in Adventure Quest walls attack quite slowly, then you're going to be able to have a skill check here. If you're not worried about getting hit, then it doesn't really matter that much. Either way, I'm just gonna do a solo DPS test here so you can see that this class, despite having a lot of support power, it does some pretty solid damage by itself, and has some really good synergy with Dauntless. Dauntless is really strong on this class because it's pretty mana hungry, and you want to spam abilities, plus it has HP costs, so you can, even when soloing weaker monsters, increase the damage of the Dauntless proc quite easily. And other than that, I'm running Anima Clairvoyance. You would also run Vim Ether. I just think this is way more reliable, just a lot of DPS. And then there's also Vainglory, of course. I'm only running a plus 51% here. No additional to Undead or something, just gonna do a little test on the Doom Overlord. And we'll have an idea of the DPS, not a big deal. So you want to essentially make your HP as low as possible by spamming these abilities, while trying to make use of the Dauntless proc as much as you can. If the monster is not very hard hitting, even though you have HP costs, it's not going to mean that much. Let's have a the DPS here. And you can also make use of the third skill for some extra DOT, which increases missing health. And you can look at some pretty decent damage numbers here. You really don't mind these crits, especially when you get to low HP. As you can see, the DPS is ramping up. On average, with full boosts, I was able to deal around 20k DPS. We should be able to peak at 15 here and there, depending on what run you're doing. Obviously, the DPS doesn't really ramp up, and you're just trying to do a little minigame. And this is just a very good class for farming weaker bosses, or maybe bosses where you have a room of 7 people or more, where you just want to kill it as fast as possible, and this is the best way to do it, because you're instantly going to activate this ability, the damage is going to go through, and your party is just going to one-shot the mob. And that's with Arachnomancer. You can also run some different enhancements, such as maybe Ravenous could be good. You could also run Valiance if you want to be more survivable. This is a dodge class, by the way. I don't recommend Elysium or something. And other than that, you could run Luck or even Forge. And you can play around depending on what you need with the other things. You could run a Penitence, although it's kind of pointless, it's a dodge class. Maybe if you use it on a monster that dodges attacks, sorry, that ignores dodge, you can then run Penitence. I cannot really think of anything else that could be useful to this class. But either way, make sure you make use of it, don't just bank it, it's going to speed up a lot of things. Arachnomancer is really good. Thanks for watching.